What if aging is not about age, but about how you live every day? Why do some people at 75 feel tired and like everything is behind them, while others, on the contrary, remain alive, active, and involved in life? Get to know each other. This is Babette Davis, a woman who, at the age of 75, lives a busy life and feels 30 years younger. And it's not about age or good genetics at all. Everything is decided by how she lives her normal days, without loud efforts, but with a system. In those very simple daily habits that accumulate imperceptibly and gradually rebuild energy, body, and the very feeling of life from the inside. Watch the video to the end to find out exactly what secrets make her look so young. So, let's get started. The first important point is her attitude to food. Babette Davis does not perceive nutrition as a restriction or a diet. For her, cooking is a process of managing her condition. She constantly cooks healthy food, but the key point is not usefulness as a label, but that the food is always fresh, simple, and made from understandable ingredients. It is important to understand the underlying mechanism here. When a person cooks himself regularly, he automatically reduces the amount of ultra-processed foods in the diet. But there is an even more subtle effect. The randomness of the diet disappears. The body stops living in a regime of constant sugar spikes, salt overload, and industrial additives. From a biological point of view, this means one thing. It reduces chronic inflammation, which is now considered one of the main accelerators of aging. But there is also a psychological aspect. A person who cooks himself regains control of his body. And the feeling of control over life is directly related to lower stress levels, which means slower biological wear. And then an interesting detail appears. For such people, food ceases to be an impulse. It becomes a ritual. And rituals, repeated daily, stabilize the nervous system better than any motivational practices. The second element of her lifestyle is activity. But this is not about sports in the usual sense. Babette Davis does not live in a workout for the sake of form mode. Her activity is embedded in life. This movement is like a background, not an event. She walks a lot, moves, does household chores on her own without turning her body into something fragile that requires special conditions. And this is where an important effect lies, which is often underestimated. When a person moves regularly, but without overloading, his muscles, joints, and cardiovascular system receive a signal. We are still needed. In biology, this is called the principle of use. Everything that is not used, the body begins to turn off economically. Conversely, everything that is used daily is maintained for longer. But there is another layer. Constant moderate movement improves the functioning of the lymphatic system, which is responsible for cleansing the tissues. In people with a sedentary lifestyle, this process slows down and the body literally stagnates at the cellular level. That is why people who live actively without extremes often experience not just a better form, but a different sense of age, as if the body does not have time to write itself down into the old ones. The third element that makes Babette Davis stand out is her social life. She communicates with people a lot, and these are not superficial contacts, but regular live interaction. And here we come to a factor that has long been underestimated in the science of longevity. Social isolation ages faster than many physiological habits of deterioration. When a person communicates regularly, his brain is constantly being trained. Speech, emotions, reactions, humor, memory, all this works as a complex cognitive load. But there is also a more subtle effect. Communication reduces the level of cortisol, the hormone of chronic stress. And chronic stress is one of the main mechanisms of accelerated aging at the cellular level. It affects sleep quality, tissue repair, and even the length of telomeres, structures associated with biological age. But there is an even more interesting detail. People who communicate a lot tend to have a better sense of the meaning of life, and the sense of meaning is directly related to how the body regulates recovery resources. The fourth element is the time spent in nature. And at first glance, it sounds almost banal until you begin to understand exactly what happens to the body in such conditions. Nature acts as a system reset for the nervous system. When a person is in a natural environment, the level of sensory overload decreases. Less artificial noise, less harsh stimuli, less visual pressure. This leads to the fact that the brain switches to more stable rhythms of work. Attention improves, anxiety decreases, breathing and heart rate stabilize. But the most interesting thing is the effect on circadian rhythms. Natural light helps the body to properly regulate sleep and hormonal cycles. And quality sleep is not just rest. It is the main recovery period during which the body rewires many systems. And here it is important to understand the connection. Nature does not just relax. It returns the body to the basic settings to which it has been evolutionarily adapted. And the more a person lives in an artificial environment, the more he departs from these basic settings. Therefore, regular return to natural conditions works as a gentle correction of biological age. If you put it all together, it becomes obvious. The secret of Babette Davis is not in individual habits, but in their combination. It creates a lifestyle in which the body is not in constant stress mode, but it does not stagnate. She gives herself movement without overload, nutrition without chaos, communication without isolation, and nature without rare episodes. And it is this stability that makes her story particularly interesting, because most people look for the secret of youth as something specific, a product, a method, an exercise. But reality works differently. Age is not a single factor. This is the sum of the daily signals that the body receives. And if these signals are chaotic, the body accelerates wear and tear. If they are stable and consistent, the system starts working more economically. Babette Davis is no exception to the rule in this regard. Rather, it is an example of how the rules cannot be broken, but built in favor of your own body. And perhaps the main conclusion here is not even that she looks younger than her age. The point is that her lifestyle shows that youth is not a condition that is lost. This is a process that is either maintained or gradually destroyed. Friends, what do you think of this woman? Write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful to you, then please like it and share the link with those who might find it particularly useful. We also recommend watching this video, which has now appeared on your screen.